Hi everybody, I'm here with my friend Robert S. And 21 years ago today, we lost George Harrison. But 20 years ago today, a year later after that, to honor him, they had the concert for George with a lot of his friends. And that's like the greatest concert.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah, I really loved it. And I've only seen it on DVD. And now we have a chance, for the 20th anniversary of that show, to see it here on the big screen. So, looking forward to it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, we're joined now by my nephew Alex. Hi Al.
Hello.
Good that you could make it here. And I forget, we've seen this together, or have you seen it?
I
don't know.
think we watched it like a decade ago.
So this is like kind of fresh for you, more or less, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's a lot of good performances in it,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you will like it. Well, the show is over. I'll see you in my dreams. Yeah.
My sweet Lord, that was a spiritual experience.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing
Amazing.
Spiritual. I love it.
26 songs in there?
But when you see them do, isn't it a
Oh, you got the
pity?
real one?
Oh, yeah.
The-
Oh, Isn't It Pity was great. Yeah.
What-
I couldn't pick if it was that or if it was like the real pop. Like you could feel it when you're watching it. You could see it on the screen, and then in the theater you're like, okay, something's going on right now. You know?
Right.
It's a shame they cut out a really nice part here. Before Joe Brown gets up there, he's about to play this last ditty. And Paul says, "Excuse me, can I say something for a minute?" And he says, "Yeah, go ahead, Paul." Sure. He goes, "I just want to say, we all got older, George got younger." And he points at Danny. And everybody was...
Oh, that's funny.
That's a beautiful little touch, and it's not in the theatrical version. I don't know why.
No, I was going to say, speaking of getting older, now that we look at it, it's like, oh my God.
He was just saying, he's like,
That was 20 years ago, and you know,
you're Paul's age now.
I'm Paul's age now that he was in this
Exactly.
film. You know?
Me too.
So-
I haven't seen it.
So guys, yeah. So what do you think? It was quite an experience, huh?
It was incredible.
Yeah, it was very good. And I was wrong. I've never seen it. You know,
You-
so much content things we watched together. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, yeah, I've seen it. And I sat down. I was like, oh shoot, I've never seen this.
Hey, you
before.
like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? That I
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I-
But
I-
either way, it was.
Yeah.
It was a great experience to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
As we kind of stated, you felt it when the songs came on, and it was strange in the theater. People are clapping along, and you're like, you had a hard time getting tickets, which I thought I couldn't believe. We saw The Godfather, and we could have stretched out 6 ways
This
from
was
Sunday.
Yeah, this was pretty much sold out.
I couldn't believe it.
You know?
Yeah, there was a good crowd
And
in there too. Good crowd.
Yeah, there were.
I lucked out because I actually got a companion seat next to a handicap spot that wasn't being used.
This is the theatrical version, and it's good. But if you like this one, try the unedited version. I have to tell you, folks, what a great time it was at the concert for George. Let me tell you, it's probably my favorite concert of all time by anybody, and that's a lot of people. And a lot of people featured in there. I would say out of all the Blu-rays and all the DVD movies that I own in my collection, and there's over 1,000, the concert for George, is probably what I watch the most, and it gets the most play. I pull it off the shelf and watch it at least twice a year. That's how good this is. And finally, I had my opportunity for the 20th anniversary to see it on the big screen. Now, the first thing that I really admired about this was that there's a brand new introduction that was included from Olivia and Danny Harrison. And it was just terrific to see them introduce the film, all new. It was short but sweet and really set the mood. And I really appreciate that they did that. So the film itself, what can I say? I mean, to see this on a big screen with great sound was absolutely marvelous. There's so much emotion and sentiment, heartfelt love for George in this. It's oozing with it. The performances are absolutely sensational. Some of the best versions of all these songs that you'll ever hear. The only thing now that I'm going to say is I wish they didn't show the theatrical version, which of course it makes sense. For theatrically, you're going to show the theatrical version. But the much preferred version is the version that you can find on here and the Blu-ray, and it's the full concert. Now, the full concert just goes from beginning to end, and it includes performances, songs that are not in the theatrical version. For example, you don't get in the theatrical version Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers doing I Need You. They also leave out Joe Brown doing That's the Way It Goes. The theatrical version also omits Gary Brooker on electric piano being seen doing Old Brown Shoe. You also don't get to see Jeff Lynne doing Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth. Although those last two by Jeff Lynne and Gary Brooker are at least featured during the credits sequence audio. If you don't leave the theater, some people were leaving and exiting. Some people sat there all the way to the end. But, you know, it's a quibble. You also, unfortunately, in the theatrical version, miss a great jam at the end when everybody, the whole entourage, including Paul and Ringo, really get into doing a wild version of Wah Wah. That's missing from the theatrical version. And lastly, when you watch the theatrical version, because it's like a documentary feel to it too, you do get some talking heads interrupting some songs, and you see some backstage footage, which is appreciated, but it doesn't have quite the flow and quite the energy and quite the heartfelt emotion, that you're going to get when you watch it straight through. That's just a minor thing. But otherwise, to see it on a big screen and see what we can see of it was absolutely a great experience. And I'm wondering if it's only going to be a once in a lifetime. I hope not. I hope they'll do it again, maybe for the 30th anniversary, but who wants to wait that long? Folks, even if you missed it on the big screen, if you get an opportunity, and all you have to do is get the DVD or the Blu-ray to see the full version of Concert for George, please do it. If you're a fan of George or the Beatles and you haven't done this, you're missing one hell of a show. Let me tell you, this is without a doubt a great experience of a lifetime that no fan should ever be without. So, had a good time. Thanks for watching.